Yo, what's going on, fellas? Appreciate you guys kicking off another Friday morning with me here as we're hanging out on Winning Bets, talking sports, talking sports betting, and having us a damn good old time as we are on to the weekend. That's what I'm talking about. We get to set ourselves up for money-making weekend. Raise your hand if you're excited for that shit, because I know I am. Hell yeah. Let's go make sure we go ahead and recap yesterday, and then let's talk soccer, NASCAR, football, baseball. Let's just talk it all on today's show. All right, boys, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do that recap where we get to ring the cash register again. We're starting to heat up, boys. Yesterday was a good day at plus 1.4 units. That shit right to the bank and deposit that sucker. Yes, sir. We hit that Nerfy there, that Mariners-Astros game. You can't get much sweat-free than a Nerfy in that, baby. Woo! Love that one right there. Easy peasy right there. Our two-legged tennis parlay came through for us there. McDonald and Felix, they were 1-1-2-0, 1-1-2-1. Who cares? As long as they win and put the money in our pocket, that's all we care about, and that's what those two guys did. We did suffer one loss yesterday, and it was really unkind to us right there in that Lazio game where we had Lazio on the money line and Lazio on the most corners. They got most corners, actually. They had 2 corners. Their opponent had 0 corners. But the kick in the D was on that Lazio money line. Dominated the first half. Absolutely dominated the first half. Got 1 goal. It was disallowed there due to an offsides, but then they were able to convert a penalty a little bit later in the first half. But just before the stroke of halftime came, my man had to pick up a second yellow card and give them a red card, obviously, with that double yellow and change the game completely. Strum, they went in the first half. They got outpossessed 65-35. They didn't have any shots on target. And then the second half was completely different. It was a 50-50 game. They got 14 shots, 7 of those suckers on target. Just really annoying to handicap a game perfectly and then just have a red card come in there and ruin it. That being said, damn, they had a 2-1 lead late. I mean, we almost squeaked one out, even though we had the kiss of death and a red card go against us. But in the end, you're going to struggle. I mean, even look what Manchester City did, midweek there at the Champions League. And if you guys hung out on TikTok Live while we were watching that game, what did we do after about 10 minutes of watching that game with Man City down a man? We live bet Copenhagen on the double chance at plus 135. Now, of course, we, of course, don't put it on the recap here because, again, I don't count live bets. I think those are a bit unfair to everybody. The chance to tail those isn't, it just isn't there. So I just think that's unfair. But even the best teams like Manchester City struggle when they're down a man, and Lazio is no different. The game was completely changed. So tough stuff right there. But then when we came back, Kaprizov over 3.5 or over 3.5 shots on goal plus money bet. Love to see that right there. He ended the game with 4 shots. I think it cashed in the second period, if I recall correctly. So you guys know I'm not a hockey guy, but we're just going back to the well on things that worked for us last season. Connor McDavid and Kaprizov, and hey, 1 game in for each of those guys, and we've gotten the cash. So neither of those guys played today, unfortunately. I'm sure they play Saturday or Sunday. Don't wait for me to go ahead and send the tweet out that we're on McDavid. Now, just make yourself, one thing I would say about McDavid is he's probably going to be high on the juice again, like that minus 160 like it is. I'm probably going to put in a couple juice reducers, a couple games where the both teams will score like we did the other night there. But Kaprizov, he'll always just kind of be around even money where we got him last night. So, all right, good cash right there. Another good day at plus 1.4 units. Absolutely love to see that. Let's see what you guys are talking about there in the comment section as we head on into money-making weekend. Love to see that right there. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to you guys. How's it going, Tyler? It's, I always like when people say, how's it hanging? I don't know. That always just makes me chuckle. Like, how's it, not how's it going, how's it hanging? It's like, well, how is it hanging? I don't know. It's funny stuff right there. All right, we got a promo here for a sweat-free college football parlay. Anything you like in college football, you got to go find somebody else, man. I've said it once. I'll say it again every time somebody asks. Just a friendly reminder. I don't know anything about college football, so you're on your own. You guys tail other people's picks just like you tail my picks. I'm sure somebody else that you tail will give you a college football bet, but not for me, man. If it was me, it would just be like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I have no clue. What's going on, Tyler? You got kicking yourself for not picking the survivors or the commanders and the survivors. I don't know, man. You were in for a sweat, but you would have had a winner. You would have walked out with a winner, and you would have been feeling good on Sunday. But, hey, you've been pushing the right buttons 5 weeks into the NFL season, Tyler. I got full confidence that says you'll find yourself a winner on Sunday. So the White Rifle is about to tie patch. This guy, I'm going to give this White Rifle some love today, my man. You've been on the White Rifle's high horse on the highest mountain, you've been preaching the white rifle, and he's done nothing but put money in your pocket. I think you'll like today's show because I'm going to back that white rifle on today's show. What about that football game last night there? Commanders and Bears. Anybody think we were going to get another Thursday night game and no touchdowns? Hell, I thought there was a real possibility that might happen. 3-0 there at halftime. Both of those offenses are terrible. Justin Fields is god-awful. He's going to, I don't know if he'll be out of the league because he'll probably be like a decent backup quarterback, a guy that can maybe just come in and give you some style of play for a game or two while the starter's injured, but he is not going to be a starter much longer. He's just absolutely god awful. I know they were able to move the ball at times, but more times than not, he just looks god awful. There was no part of that guy. And Commanders offense struggled. I did see in the pigskin pick'em contest there were only 6 people, including myself, where God, I'm doing really good in that pigskin pick'em contest. Only 6 of us picked the Commanders last night. Everybody else either didn't pick or was on the Bears last night. So 6 of us, including myself, has got a nice little 1-0 advantage moving into the Sunday slate of NFL. Otherwise, yeah, that was just another bad game. I tortured myself and watched it until the final whistle, and not really sure why I did that, but it's about as bad as it gets there, boys. I guess not as bad as it gets, because last Thursday there wasn't a touchdown. So actually not as bad as it gets. Second to as bad as it gets. That was god awful. A couple comments here rolling by. NHL, baby. I'm glad. I mean, admittedly, I'm not going to watch the NHL, but I love betting trends, and kind of like how we'll bet soccer teams that go over 2.5 goals. Well, let's just give it a month and a half, and we occasionally last season, when there was a dream matchup of 2 under teams would pair up or 2 over teams pair up, I'll put my money in a good betting situation. So yeah, let's give it this NHL season, and we'll be adding some more NHL bets and NBA. Yeah, right there around the corner, we'll be on those player props for sure. Wentz is undefeated. Yeah, I know. Now 7-0. People were on that trend last night. The Commanders was the right play. The Bears are just god awful. Have you been tuning into the NBA? Not the preseason. I don't pay attention to really any leagues preseason. So, yeah, I'll focus on the NBA once the real games start, but I'm just not a big preseason for anything. Yeah, the white rifle. I'd love to hear it. All right, let's go ahead now and jump on into today's bets. I want to tell you guys about NASCAR. Myself and William have already done this week's episode of the Highline podcast where we previewed this upcoming race there at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I don't have any NASCAR bets to share with you guys. Boy, the sports books, like normally we will get like a driver that I predict to be in the top 3, maybe against a guy that's in the top 10, right? You look at the matchups this week, and the matchups they have, like I have both those guys finishing in the top 3, or both those guys finishing in the top 5, or just neck and neck. So I didn't really think we had an advantage this week in NASCAR. That being said, I've given out tons of NASCAR plays every Friday, and then I usually send out my tweet on Sunday like I always do, and I'll get comments from somebody being like, hey, where is that NASCAR matchup? That's because NASCAR matchups will change after qualifying. Once the qualifying order is set, then the sports books will be known to change the matchups. So while I don't have a NASCAR play today, let's see what happens in qualifying on Saturday. Let's see if the sports books will kind of change the matchups, because I'm not really big on where guys start. I mean, it matters on some tracks, but it doesn't matter about 95% of the time on where you start. So I could really care less where a guy starts. So let's just see if maybe after qualifying we get some different matchups, and maybe we can get a couple that'll be in our favor. So of course those, if we do any, will come out on Sunday. I'm hoping so. I'll be watching the race. I would like to have some skin in the game while I watch the race. So yeah, hopefully we can get a favorable matchup. But I'm just as upset as you guys are that we don't have anything to share today. But we do have to share those soccer bets. Let's just throw those up there and remind everybody. We talked about all these yesterday. And in this video description is a link to this week's episode where we broke down all the Premier League games this weekend. So you can find some justification down over there on that video. Let's keep this train rolling. Let's get to some MLB bets. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, run back that under we were on yesterday, right? We were on the under. The game got rained out. The only thing I want to add to it, though, is Bieber over 4.5 Ks. We're getting a really good number here. This number has gotten better. This number is now minus 104 over at FanDuel. This feels like a line that, for whatever reason, is dropping. If it goes down to 4.5 Ks, I'm probably going to have to go in again. So we'll just see what happens with that line. And then we'll go ahead and do a parlay. We'll do the Nerfy there in Guardians Yankees. And then we'll go ahead and parlay that with Snell over 1.5 walks. And I use that 40% profit boost that DraftKings has today and got that to plus 189. I love Snell on the walks. You can look at his game log. Even games where he has like 12 strikeouts, he'll have like 3 walks. He'll have 10 strikeouts and he'll have 4 walks. This guy is an absolute walk machine. He's faced the Dodgers 3 times this season, and he's had at least 3 walks in each of those starts this season against the Dodgers. Good guy, got some wipeout, strikeout stuff, but he's just wildly uncontrollable with his delivery. And that leads to him having, high walks, and you see it again in his game log. So we'll go ahead and par that with the Nerfy there in Guardians Yankees. So that's how we'll roll there this week in MLB. We can have the Braves announced a starter. Is that? Let's log on and see. Let's talk about. I didn't really handicap that game that much because there wasn't a starter at the time, or at least there was definitely one a starter last night. And I looked this morning, there wasn't a starter. Is there a Braves starter yet? Okay, so we're throwing Spencer Strider. Okay, so we're throwing Strider versus Nola. Gotta like an F5 under, an F3 under in that game. You guys know me and Phillies bullpen. I'm not touching a full game under in Braves Phillies, but hey, if you want to isolate that Phillies bullpen and do an F3 under, do an F5 under, Strider, Nola, damn, that's gonna be a lot of strikeouts in that one. Man, maybe we get a boost for these sports books and get like a combined 12 plus strikeouts. I think that probably would still be worth taking. Nola should probably get anywhere from 6 to 9, and Strider probably in that same wheelhouse, probably anywhere from about 6 to 9. These guys just have wipeout stuff. So who do we like to win these games today? I like the Guardians at plus 135. You guys know I'm a big Bieber guy. We already like the Guardians bullpen. I think the Guardians get it done today at plus 135. In terms of Braves, Phillies, just knowing this starter, I'm going to lean on the Braves. I mean, they got the better bullpen by far. So I'm going to like the Braves today at minus 105. And then Dodgers, Padres. We got Gonsolin up against Snell, obviously. That's going to be a tough little matchup right there. It's all up to Snell, right? He's had a couple times this season he was rocked by the Dodgers. Then other times this season he was really good against the Dodgers. That one to me is all really predicated on what Snell could do. I actually thought in looking up this game, I actually think a chance on the Dodgers hitting Snell. I like the F5 team total for the Dodgers in that game over 1.5. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, it's actually I clicked on the Braves game. Hold on. I was going to say that juice was like, whoa, maybe I do want to bet that. Yeah, it's at minus 125. I like the Dodgers F5 team total up against Snell. He's so inconsistent. He's going to walk people. And then all you just need is a 2-run home run. So I kind of like in that game, Dodgers F5 team total. Maybe I'll add that. What is that? Oh, that's the nightcap game. So maybe after we kick ass today and we've won all the money, maybe we'll go ahead and add that. So that's what I like today's baseball games. We'll take the under in the Guardians Yankees with the Guardians winning. We'll take the F5 under, F3 under with the Braves winning. And then I'm taking the over in Dodgers Padres. I'm taking the over in Dodgers Padres. I'm taking the Dodgers. I'm taking the Dodgers to win the game. So that's how we'll do it there in baseball. But that's actually the only 3 bets we have. But I could see myself adding something to that. Let's see what those strikeout numbers are. With Strider, I didn't even know. So actually, what is Strider's strikeout number? Let's see what it is. I saw Nola's was at 6.5, but it was minus 165. That's why I didn't quite bet it. But maybe we could do a same game part. We don't get a Strider number. See if we get one on FanDuel. I'm thinking, what about an alternate line on FanDuel, bringing their numbers down a touch, and then parlaying those suckers together? Let's see. Okay, so no sportsbooks got a number yet for Strider. He must have. I didn't even know he was a starter when I sat in this chair, so that must have just been announced. So let's wait. Let's see if we can get. Make sure you just follow me on Twitter. Maybe we'll do a little same game parlay of Nola and Strider, reduce their numbers down a little bit, and see if we can get that to hit. I know that burned us obviously the other night, but Strider and Nola are better than Suarez and who was that other guy? Suarez and who was that guy in game 1? Oh, Fried. Oh, Fried was just off his game. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into the Dodgers and Braves now. And now I just have to find a couple hockey games. I would say go hit up the Hockey Squirrel. That'd be my only recommendation. I don't know anything about hockey. Cleveland's and Padres. I like your Guardians. I like your Guardians there, YouTube. I like your Guardians. Strider or Morton? Looks like it's Strider. Looks like it is confirmed Strider. Hopefully the Padres can pull it out there for Brian. All right. With whatever bum they throw out there. I like that. I like that. What do you think about the El Clasico this Sunday? Love that question. What about the kit that Barcelona is going to wear with the Drake out? You guys seen the Barcelona kit? I actually lean, no Courtois. That could be really big. I bet Barcelona pulls it off because of no Courtois. If Courtois was in there, that's a big game goalkeeper. Courtois can absolutely change the game. You guys saw what he did in the Champions League final last season against Liverpool. He's an absolute game changer as Courtois. No Courtois, though. I'm going to go Barcelona. What is that line? Let's see what that line is. Let's get a look here and see what that. But I'm going to lean and actually I don't really know where this game's being played. So when I look that up, the line, let's see where that game is even being played. I know it's Sunday. I know I'm definitely going to be watching it. It's at Madrid. Looks like you can probably get Barcelona on a good double chance price based on the money line. You can get Barcelona at minus 150 on the double chance. That's where I lean right there. Well, that's where I lean right there. Guardians, you're going to take the Yankees. All right, good luck. F5 over and the full game over for the Padres. Yeah, I expect the Padres. I actually like that Dodgers F5 team total. I may add that. I could see Snell getting roughed up. All right, and let's talk some NFL. About NFL Week 6. I know everybody's sitting there going, what the hell is he betting in that Bills game? My man is 7-0 in Bills game. What the hell is he betting this week in Bills versus Chiefs? Here it comes, guys. Here comes all the bets I've got in the NFL this week. Let's go ahead and throw them up on the screen. We're going to go ahead and take Jeff Wilson over 66.5 rushing yards at minus 115. Look, against the Falcons last season, he had 22 carries for 110 yards. So far this season, he's had game logs at 84 yards, 75, 74, and 120 in 4 of his 5 games. It did not hit in week 1, but in week 1, they had Trey Lance starting, and Trey Lance got 13 carries and kind of stole some production from Jeff Wilson. So that's why it didn't hit. But once Trey Lance has been out of that lineup, you've gotten 4 straight cashes with Jeff Wilson here. And Wilson, don't worry about Debo either taking carries away from Jeff Wilson because Debo's carries are going down. He had 8, 4, 5, and now 2 and 2 the last 2 weeks. Jeff Wilson is clearly the guy. He's the bell cow guy. Also, don't worry about Coleman because when he got his carries last week, they were already blowing out the Panthers, and that's when they kind of sat Wilson and brought Coleman in. So Wilson's the guy. He's gotten 4 straight cashes of this number. Just gashed the Falcons last season. The Falcons this year are giving up 115 yards per game. They're allowing 4.6 yards per carry. Both of those numbers are towards the bottom of the league. Absolutely love Jeff Wilson this week for the 49ers, going over 66.5 rushing yards. For the Bills-Chiefs game, let's go Stephon Diggs, anytime touchdown at minus 115 over DraftKings. You need your big boy players in this game. You absolutely need the big boy players, and while I kind of go through my NFL bets, who's a better wide receiver than Stephon Diggs? And maybe I'm slightly biased, but his separation, he's their goal line guy because you can't guard him within that 10 yards when they get in the goal line. He's unguardable. His separation is just absolutely unreal. I think he is for sure a top 3 wide receiver in the game. I think in a high scoring game of what this is going to be, sure, Gabriel Davis may get some, and people may like Gabriel Davis, but Stephon Diggs is the absolute guy. Give me Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown at minus 115 to go 8-0 in betting Bills games this season. I also like the Jets plus 7.5 against the Packers. I told you guys, I've seen enough of the Packers this season. They're poo-poo on a stick. Absolutely poo-poo on a stick. And I think the Jets are trending up. And that's not just because of the big blowout last week against a depleted Dolphins team, obviously from the quarterback position. The team is trending up from a stats perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets at plus 7.5. I'm also going to take the Cowboys and the White Rifle. I hear you, my man. All right, I'm going to jump on that money train there of the Cowboys and White Rifle. This is going to be a good game. Cowboys defense can hang with the Eagles defense. This is 2 Super Bowl caliber defenses for sure. I like the Cowboys to keep it close and maybe even pull out the win, but I'll just go ahead and take those 6.5 points over on Bet Rivers. I also like the Seahawks. Let's go back to that trend. Remember, guys, what did we do last week? The Eagles first half spread. We're going right back to fading the Cardinals. The Seahawks, we get just as juicy as a matchup as we got last week. The Seahawks averaged 16 points in the first half. At home, they're 18.5 points. The Cardinals are 5.2 points in the first half. On the road, they're 1.5. And everybody talks about the 12th man and how hard it is to play in Seattle. Come on. Come on, I already got big gaps. I already got big discrepancies that say the Seattle Seahawks should certainly win the first half. So for whatever reason, the sportsbooks are giving me a 1.5. I don't think I need the 1.5. I wish I could actually take an alternate line. I would take the -1.5, but can only take what they're offering me, so I'll take the 1.5 at -117. And then from a team total perspective in that first half of 11.5 points, again, averaging 16 points, averaging 18.5 points at home, that's a no-brainer bet. And see if we can't maybe find ourselves a good little trend here early in the season. You know, trends come and go, but this is a trend, I think, of fading the Cardinals in the first half that could be a real thing. We'll see if it can't work out for us again this week. And then my best over this week is Bengals Saints over 43. The game, these sports books always have the numbers bang on, but this game projects to be scored at 45.8 points. And that may not sound like a big discrepancy, but if you go through every game, the sports books aren't handing out free money, folks. So there's not going to be a big discrepancy. This is one of the bigger ones this week in terms of the calculations that I've got. I've got it at 45.8 points. So I'm going to go ahead and bet over 43 points there at -107 over at PointsBet. That's how we're going to roll. A couple other things I want to keep my eye on is Saquon Barkley from a receiving standpoint. I want to keep my eye on Travis Etienne from a receiving standpoint, and Zach Ertz. I want to keep my eye on Zach Ertz, whether that's yardage or receptions, unsure right there. You're starting to get in the point of the NFL season where as injuries ramp up, you saw it last season, the player props just come out much slower in the week. They don't really come out till Fridays and even Saturdays sometimes. So those are the three guys I'm keeping my eye on. I haven't seen the number for those guys. Done the research. I think they're good betting spots. We just need to see what the numbers come in at. Just make sure you follow me on Twitter. Again, those are Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne, and Zach Ertz. All guys you guys are well aware of right there. Oh, and one other thing about the Stephon Diggs. The Chiefs allow the 7th most fantasy points per game to the wide receiver position. The Bills couldn't run the ball out of a wet paper bag, and they got the best quarterback in the league. Yeah, this is Stephon Diggs. Let's go 8-0, boys. Let's go 8-0 in Buffalo Bills games this year. All right, let's jump back into the comment section and see what you guys got right here. Bills all day? Yes, sir. They're going to win that game. They're absolutely going to go. And I don't believe in no revenge shit. They're just the better team. They've got the better. You know the Bills, you know how many third quarter points they've allowed this season? They haven't allowed a third quarter point all effing season long. And I think I saw or heard from the broadcast last week, they've only allowed 7 points all season in the second half. Woo! Bills all day long. Bills, Cardinals, Ravens, moneyline parlay. Watch out for the Ravens. Who's their defensive coordinator? He was a defense coordinator last season at the Ravens. If anybody's going to know how to stop Lamar Jackson, it's going to be the defensive coordinator for the Giants. So be a little careful with the Ravens this week. There's a blueprint where you could see where they could lose. No, this guy's going to know how to stop Lamar Jackson better than anybody in the league. So be a touch careful. And I don't trust the Cardinals, so no, I want no part of the Cardinals this week. I wouldn't take them on a full game. So that's all you, my man. Good luck. All right, guys, what else is going on this weekend? Money Making Weekend. What are you guys up to? I'm traveling to Richmond this weekend, doing my first solo trip with my son. Never gone anywhere with just me and the older kid. We're going to head on to Richmond. There's a truck show in Richmond, so look forward to seeing that and seeing all that stuff. So it should be a nice little weekend. Money Making Weekend. We got soccer. We got baseball. We got NFL. Hopefully we're going to add some NASCAR head-to-heads to it. That is the goal, to get some more favorable matchups and add some NASCAR head-to-heads, and then hopefully we get some good lines there on those player props that I mentioned, and we can go ahead and see that. And don't forget, guys, lock in your picks for the Pigskin Pick'em contest, and then for the 5 of you that are still in that eliminator contest, you want my $200, so do make sure you get an eliminator picks. I'm with Brian. Can't wait to see who the people are picking. Let's see if I can predict who the people are going to be picking. I always like trying. Do you guys do that too? The people who are in the contest, or maybe if you're not in the contest, I love the Eliminator. It's one of the best games out there. Let's see if we can try and predict who people are going to pick. If people haven't predicted the Buccaneers, I bet people are going to be on the Buccaneers over the Steelers, if I had to take a guess. I do think the Ravens could be a popular play, but that would be one that would make me a touch nervous. I think the Buccaneers, if you've got them, as I'm scrolling through, if you've got the 49ers, I think that's relatively safe against the Falcons. Again, the Falcons remain to be the only team that have covered the spread in all 5 games. Pretty remarkable stuff right there. The Vikings could be a popular play. I think the Dolphins still are not going to have Tua. I don't know where Bridgewater is in his comeback, so a little bit unsure right there. Let's see. Somebody, don't pick the Colts if you've got the Colts, folks. Don't fall into that betting trap. I I think that's, and then, maybe somebody takes the Chargers on Monday night against the Broncos. Chargers on Monday night against, I think that's probably your best options in eliminator. Chargers on Monday night against the Broncos. Or if you've got the Buccaneers against the Steelers. Somebody's going to take a chance on the Ravens, and something just tells me the Giants they're 4-1. They've been competitive. They've been right there. All right, Brian, don't tell anybody, right? You don't want to give away your gym that you're on, but nice to know that you've already got confidence, and on a Friday morning, you're already locked in. I love to see that, Brian. Love to see it, but that's kind of where I lean right there, but it's tough. It all depends on what you've got. All right, fellas, it's money-making weekend, boys. Hit that like button, boys. We need some positive vibes. Hit that like button. Hit that like button so we're all pulling in the same direction and we're all helping each other out. Good luck with your bets. Of course, know you guys will put in a ton of other bets. Maybe some other, or you will be doing some other ones. I'm sure you will. So good luck. Good luck. And then, of course, we're adding free rolls to it. Ahead on that free recap, we've already got like 30 or some bucks. We earned a free bet last night because our risk-free same-game parlays did not cash, but we used arbitrage money, so they were risk-free last night anyways, and then we earned a free bet because they lost. So plenty of free rolls will be coming out this weekend. Good luck, fellas, with your bets. Can't wait to see how you guys come out of the weekend when we hang out on Monday's show, and we'll catch you up then. Enjoy your weekend, fellas.